first priorities when I take office, obviously I got to put a team together. And I'll be totally honest, we've been having some transition conversations, trying to figure out who some of our key positions are going to be. Obviously, we have to replace the public safety director sooner rather than later due to Judge Edwards' resignation. And we will develop a plan to spend the COVID money that's on its way in, developing that plan with the community, not to the community. And we have to address the situation at our jails. That that riots are becoming the norm in our jails is unacceptable, and we have to hold some people accountable.
It also looks like you have a lot of progressive candidates winning for Board of Aldermen tonight. Do you think that that's going to just make your priorities and your agenda easier to accomplish?
That will. However, I have built some really good relationships with our board president, as well as several of the board members who were there. So I think that also making sure that we put together some clear lines of communication, because that's 90% of this job, is making sure that we communicate with each other clearly and know where each other stands. So we will start to have more frequent meetings to develop an agenda to move forward.
Talk about what this moment means for the first African American female mayor. Do you feel like the voters wanted to see this shift?
I believe the voters wanted to see this shift. If you look at the support that I have, it was over 23 out of 28 wards, elected officials across all of those wards, several of whom I didn't always agree with, but we did agree on one thing, is that we want St. Louis to do better, and that we can work together despite our differences. And it's time. St. Louis has never had a black woman mayor. We joined several cities across the country who have black women mayors who I respect and admire, and so I look forward to engaging with them as well to get advice on how to move forward.
Tishaura, communities that some people say are overlooked by politicians. What's your position in some of those underserved communities?
Well, I live in one of those underserved communities that has been overlooked. I'm a daughter of North St. Louis, and so North St. Louis is going to be a priority for me because I believe that one of the reasons why we have so much crime is that our children and our young people have no hope. They have no hope when they see abandoned buildings and trash everywhere and no new development. So it's time to change their environment. It's also time to connect assets with people and make sure that we have workforce opportunities for people to not only just survive but to thrive.
Tishaura,
Yes.
I lived in St. Louis for 2 years, and I noticed during your speech you didn't mention disability. And my son has autism. The Missouri Department of Mental Health has denied him services for 2 years, along with other African Americans who deserve professional services. And the individual in Jefferson City just failed to put money back in the community where those areas you talked about. What do you plan to do about that to ensure that he gets the professional services he deserves and other people in St. Louis get those services? And part two of the question is, the media seem to be biased against African Americans. They only report the negative things, and hoping to develop a relationship with them so they will start focusing more on the positive in the community. But that's another story.
Related to your question about mental health, I grew up with two uncles and an aunt who had disabilities. One had Down syndrome, and two others one had autism, and the other was paranoid schizophrenic. And once my mother and her sisters and siblings passed away, it was left to me and my cousins to take care of them. And then also, I was in the legislature on the Mental Health Appropriations Committee, so I know the importance of having accessible mental health services and how that makes a difference for those of us who care for people who are differently abled. So, but I also want to make sure that our public safety department has mental health professionals in it. So police are not the only answer when you dial 911, and so we don't have bad interactions with our community as police or anybody responds to someone who's having a mental health emergency. I'm sorry, next question.
Thank you so much. Congratulations. Tell me for us, how will this position, how will it impact the region? Today I was out running the streets, 3 shootings, 1 in Canfield, things like that. How will you use this role, or in what ways will your role transform how the region, because they're consistently doing.
Right. I think your question said it perfectly. The crime issues in our region are consistent between St. Louis City and County and East St. Louis, right? So we need to develop a regional approach to crime and public safety, not just the city's approach or St. Louis County's approach. And so I already have great working relationships with our neighbors to the west and the east. And so I stand ready to usher in a new era of collaboration and cooperation with our regional partners so we can develop a regional plan for crime that takes care of everybody, not just St. Louis City.
You have a 14-day window in which you need to form a government. How narrow is that, and what are your priorities in signing that to cabinet?
Right, 14 days is not a lot. Well, actually, now 13 days. But I've been here before. I've been in the executive branch for 8 years, and am no stranger to coming in and forming governments, building teams around me, and some of this work has already started. So we're a little bit ahead of the ball, and you'll see tomorrow when we announce our transition website, you'll see the people that have already been working on this.
As a follow-up, you mentioned that you would look outside of St. Louis for certain talent. Have you identified these individuals already, or is that
No, we have not identified anybody from outside yet. But tomorrow, when we announce the transition website, we will be sending that out far and wide and see who wants to move to St. Louis. That should be the name of a TV show. Who wants to move to St. Louis?
We're going to go Rachel, and then we'll go you.
Rachel.
So not only do you have a government to form, you then also get to choose your successor in the treasurer's office. Have you
Yes.
thought about that transition as well?
I have thought about it, and we will be making that announcement soon. Yes.
You mentioned racist dog whistles during the campaign. Will you give some examples of that, please?
I mentioned racist dog whistles during the campaign. So, perfect example was the reference to East St. Louis, and my opponent said that she was afraid that St. Louis could become East St. Louis, and it was a dog whistle, in my opinion, to her conservative base. Not to elect a black woman because she was signaling that the reason why East St. Louis is the way it is because of black leadership. And that's not the case. East St. Louis is the way it is because of white flight and racism and the de-annexing of East St. Louis. And I think that, there are a few books that everybody should read going forward so we can see the racist policies that have existed for generations in this region. Number one being The Broken Heart of America by Walter Johnson. Number two being Rodney Boyd. Where's that book? It's on my nightstand. Richard Rothstein's The Color of Law. Those are two books that clearly outline racist policies that made St. Louis what it is and East St. Louis what it is.
All right, we're going to wrap.
Any other questions?
How does it feel?
How's it feel? Oh my God, Rachel, this feels amazing. This feels amazing. If I'm allowed to wax poetic for a little bit, I've been working so hard in local government for the last 8 years, and then 4 years ago to come so close with only 888 votes stood between me and a crowded field of black men. This feels amazing, and I also feel like delay is not denial, that those 4 years I'm a totally different candidate and totally prepared for this moment. I believe that everything happens in my life for a reason, and that loss was something that happened in my life for a reason to prepare me for this moment. So it feels amazing. I'm ready to get to work and ready to usher in St. Louis's new era. Yes, I have. She called to congratulate me around 9:30. Yes. Come from behind the light. I can't see you.
What do you have to say to those black girls on the north side that you're representing right now?
What do I have to say to those black girls on the north side? Well, a couple of things. Number one, to every single mama who wants to do something more, you can. One of my mentors always told me, he said, you can have it all, just not all at the same time. And to those little girls, this is possible. Anything is possible if you believe in yourself. So never stop believing in yourself. I'm sorry. To my black son, right, I'm raising a black boy, and I am hopeful that he sees that women can do almost any. Excuse me? Okay. All right. You're not listening. So thank you. All right.